Hello and welcome to this edition of WMLT News. I'm Marilee McAuliffe. 41-year-old Sabrina Smith and her roommate Amanda Willis were arrested in Beckley for an incident that happened back in September. The two women took Smith's daughter to the hospital because the 6-year-old was unresponsive. Severely malnourished, the child weighed only 19 pounds. As a punishment for stealing food, the child was allegedly bound to a child safety seat for hours at a time and not given any food. However, of the 5 other children in the house, all others were well fed and even engaged in torturing the 6-year-old. Since the incident, the mother Smith and her roommate Willis are being charged with multiple accounts, including child abuse with substantial injury. All of the children have been placed in foster homes, and the 6-year-old has gained at least 13 pounds. In other news, in the election, Congress is going to look different in January. Republicans regained control of the House of Representatives on November 2nd. Republicans gained 61 House seats to take the majority. In the U.S. Senate, Democrats lost 6 seats but held on to enough to maintain the majority. Also, Democrats lost 7 governorships to bring the total number of Republican governors to 29. In West Virginia, racist Governor Joe Manchin won the U.S. Senate seat, left vacant by the passing of long-serving West Virginia Senator Robert Byrd, with 54% of the vote. John Racy took 43% of the vote, and Mountain State Party candidate Jesse Johnson took 2%. Governor Manchin will serve out the remaining 2 years in Senator Byrd's unexpired term. Democrat Nick Joe Rahal held on to his House seat with 55% of the vote to Spike Maynard's 45%. With Republicans now in control and their sights set on the White House, many are looking 2 years ahead to the presidential election. When Governor Manchin makes the move to the U.S. Senate in January, West Virginia State Senate President Earl Ray Tomblin will become the acting governor. He will also maintain his position in the state Senate and has not ruled out holding a special election before 2012 to fill the remaining 2 years of Governor Manchin's unexpired term. West Virginia will next hold its regular election in 2012 along with the U.S. presidential election. People are not the only ones suffering from a low economy. Pets and animals are also feeling the leash tighten around monetary budgeting. Julia Spencer reports on how one animal shelter in Mercer County is coping with the change in animal intake.
Animals are man's best friend, but what happens when you lose your job and are forced to choose between your family pet and your family? People all across America are making this tough choice right now. The Mercer County Animal Shelter says that they are feeling the squeeze also. Animals are coming in daily with sad stories from owners who say they cannot even afford to feed their pets anymore and are being forced to give them up. Their only choice? An animal shelter. Lisa Nesbitt is the director of the Mercer County Animal Shelter, and she explains how this can happen.
We always have a lot of strays, but we're noticing a lot more owner turn-ins. People leaving their animals in their house. We've had animal control to have to go out and pick up animals in people's houses that they left abandoned. Just people not being able to afford to keep their animals. It's been a lot of owner turn-ins.
Everyone may love a new kitten or puppy, but some should not take on that responsibility if they are not financially capable. Animals are abandoned every day and brought to the shelter to be taken care of there. There is usually an overflow of kittens and cats that call the shelter their current home. Kittens and cats are also the hardest animals to place in adoptive homes. Many come into the shelter starving and have been physically abused. Nesbitt says that kittens and cats are brought in most often.
We just get so many cats in. We sometimes during kitten season we get about 50 cats a day.
Puppies are the easiest to place into homes. Some people want to have a purebred dog that costs extra cash. The animals that come into this particular shelter are mostly mixed breeds and strays, but sometimes a purebred or high-dollar dog will come in that has usually been overbred or abused, like the small Yorkshire Terrier who has cancer and may not get to live out her last years in comfort and love.
Well, when you adopt an animal at the animal shelter, not only does it give it a good home, but instead of just having one animal, you make room for another. And the animal population is just out of control right now. And actually, we get a lot of animals that are turned in that people have bought from puppy mills or from Petland. So we get a lot of purebred animals in that are registered.
When it comes to purchasing a pet from a pet store compared to adopting from a shelter, the latter is always the better deal in more ways than one. An animal from a pet store can run you thousands of dollars. but a shelter pet is a much better bargain in money and appreciation from the animal.
Prices for our dogs are $65, and that includes its first shot, its first puppy shot, or its yearly vaccination, the rabies, the worming, and the spay or neuter. And the cats are $40, and it includes all those.
The Mercer County Animal Shelter works hard every day to give all these animals the love, attention, and medical care that they need to survive and hopefully be adopted into loving homes. For more information on how to responsibly adopt a loving shelter animal, visit your local animal shelter to take a tour and see if any of them capture your attention and your heart. For WMLT News, I'm Julia Spencer in Princeton.
Now here with this week's Concord Minute is Taylor Shea.
Thanks, Marilee. Concord hosted its 17th Annual Business Challenge October 28th. The event was a huge success with over 200 high school juniors and seniors and 20 high school teachers from across the two Virginias. Hosted by the Division of Business, the motto is, "We educate the best and enhance the rest." The event gives students a chance to learn new teaching techniques and show off their knowledge in business. The event also gives students a chance to win a $2,000 scholarship. The top 2 scorers received the scholarship, and the top 3 received awards. Concord also exhibited its health fair on Tuesday, October 26th. Representatives from Princeton Community Hospital, West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine, Walmart Vision Center, Mercer County Health Department, Weight Watchers, the American Cancer Society, and many others attended this event. There were exhibits providing awareness for alcohol consumption, Students Against Destructive Decisions, and CVS even provided flu shots sponsored by Academic Success and other various organizations. Overall, the Concord Health Fair provided many opportunities for students to learn about physical and psychological health. That's all for this week's Concord Minute. Back to you, Marilee.
Stay tuned. We'll return in just a moment for more WMLT News. Welcome back to WMLT News. And now here with this week's Ticket or Leave It, Jamie Lee Reichert.
Thanks, Marilee. Welcome to this week's edition of Ticket or Leave It. I'm Jamie Lee Reichert. Jackass 3D recently hit theaters. Johnny Knoxville and company returned for the 3rd movie. It's filled with dangerous stunts and public displays that most likely should not be performed at home. This movie is definitely going to have you laughing hysterically. If you have a weak stomach, I suggest you not go see this movie, but all of the movies out, I would say that this movie is your ticket. A movie that recently hit theaters is Due Date. Peter Hyman is a soon-to-be father, and the only thing he wants is to make it back home in time for his wife's due date. Hyman runs into all kinds of problems trying to get home, such as getting thrown off of the plane and causing him to take a road trip with inspiring actor Ethan Tremblay and his dog. Tremblay makes their should-have-been easy road trip into a dangerous ride. Along the way, they destroy cars, friendships, and Peter's last nerve. It's a movie that will have you laughing. This movie is definitely your ticket. November 19th is a day that most people have been waiting for. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 comes out. Harry Potter must find the Horcrux before Voldemort finds him. As Harry finds clues, he uncovers the legend of the Deathly Hallows, and if the legend turns out to be true, then it will give Voldemort the power he has always sought out. This movie is going to bring out a battle that we have all been waiting to see. Harry Potter versus Voldemort. That's it for Ticket or Leave It. Back to you, Marilee.
Across the nation, federal funding for higher education has been reduced, but it wasn't just federal cutbacks that caused Concord students to lose work study. Julia Spencer reports that too many mistakes in the financial aid office last year means less money for students this year.
Students across the country depend on work study to make ends meet. But this year, some students at Concord were left in the cold when it comes to work study. Debbie Turner, the new director for the Concord University Financial Aid Department, says students are paying the price for the office's mistakes.
The work study got awarded out quite a bit of funds, more funds than what we had available. So we had asked students that if they had accepted the awards but weren't going to use the work study funds, that we were going to, we gave them a deadline and then we were canceling it because there were a lot of students that weren't awarded and we wanted to make those funds available for them.
It is an issue students are scrambling to cope with. Turner says there is a waiting list, and in just 1 hour, 3 students came into the office in hopes of seeing their name at the top of the ladder. The wait list is a way for students to try to get their foot in the door concerning work-study money. Jose Schultz, a senior at Concord, was shocked to find out he was denied. Work-study has been his primary income since he started at Concord. Turner says this issue won't go away until the fall of 2011, and despite the setback, encourages students to apply for financial aid and work study.
The key is filing the FAFSA as soon as you can. They're available on January 1st of every year, and then we ask that you do the priority deadline of March 1st. So even if the student has to do their FAFSA, they haven't done their tax returns, they can do estimated numbers and get that on filed in time, and then get it corrected when they do their tax returns. That gets that deadline met, and then we will begin awarding funds during the summer for students, and again, a lot of it's done by date. And there's also a question on the FAFSA if they're interested in work study, so they want to make sure they mark that.
For WMLT News, I'm Julia Spencer in Athens.
A new game involving Nerf guns and zombies is sweeping college campuses statewide. That's right, here with Jonathan Klein has more on zombies versus humans.
If you have been on a college campus lately, you have probably seen students playing with Nerf guns and wearing bandanas. The game they are part of is called Humans vs. Zombies. The game originated at Goucher College in Baltimore, Maryland in 2005 and is now played internationally. Humans vs. Zombies moderator Andrew Miller says that he heard about the game from a friend.
I heard about it through a friend at Marshall University. He was playing, and he told me about it, and I got really interested, so I looked it up. And my friend Nathan, I went to school with Nathan and David Peltz, and we all got really interested, so we looked more and more into it. So I started to tell people, and the word got out fast. We have 93 players.
Concord University student Nathan Sterniolo also is involved with the game.
We just looked into it. It was really interesting. We tried bringing it up on campus, and we grabbed a few other key people in, and we just started from there.
Some of the participants are humans and the others are zombies. Miller explains how the game works.
The general objective is for the zombies to completely annihilate all the humans. The humans' objective is to outlast the horde, because zombies, if they do not eat somebody, which means just tag them, then they get to feed, and if they don't feed in 48 hours, then they starve and they quit playing.
Leader of the zombie participants, James Blankenship, says that he hopes to expand the game next year.
We had 100 people this time, and that was with hardly not much advertising at all. And we've had a lot of people into this, so I could easily see us getting 200 some people next time. So with that large amount of people, we want to do it officially.
So even though Halloween may be over, zombies are still alive and well here on the Campus Beautiful. Reporting for WMLT, I'm Jonathan Klein in Athens.
From everyone here at WMLT, have a great day.